Alright guys, this is Matt, Thrive Energy. What I got here is a new product that we're working on. It's actually a part of an entire product line that will go under the Enduro brand. And what you see here is actually two products in one. This is a pack stove that can run on small firewood, foliage. And then on top of it is a gravity feed pellet stove. And these are two separate items. And the pellet stove mounts in place of the burner plate, of the hot plate of the pack stove. So you have to excuse the dog. So you just remove the burner plate, and the pellet add-on just bolts right to it, and those holes are already pre-existing. And then this has other holes already in it, and that'll be for future attachments. An oven is in the future, and a heat exchanger that will go on the back here to make it more efficient. And then right, this is a prototype. This isn't really the finished product. The pellet, well, that's actually getting a new lid, and I'll show you that here in a minute, because the gasifier that's running this right now, that's providing our lights and the TV and everything, is part of this product line, and that's the Enduro pellet gasifier, and I'll get to that in a minute. So you can hear that running in the background. But anyways, yeah, that lid is going to get changed to that design, and it'll get the damper control that goes on that machine, and so will this stove. This stove has primary damper control and a secondary afterburn. And then when you're running stick fuel in it and you don't have the pellet stove attachment on there, this here is your gate to control your temperature at the hot plate, and that works in combination with the chimney gate. That's not a damper. What that does is that these two together direct the gases through a chamber that goes to the top of the stove. And so actually when you're running the stove just in heat mode, you would actually have this one closed completely off. And then what you do is open your secondary air, and then that will flow through the chamber, the heat chamber for the hot plate, and it'll go to the chimney, and that'll provide secondary air combustion in that chamber right below there. So this is actually your actual damper, and this is a 4-inch pipe, and that's pretty much it. So it's a pretty advanced pack stove. Not too many have a secondary burn chamber and a fully controllable hot plate. So on the pellet stove, it is gravity fed, and you don't need automation, but you will probably want to get it. This is just an experimental setup that I have here. We're going to get a smaller gear drive motor, and then we'll have a small controller, and it'll all just attach right here on the side, and then it'll be a clean install. And that battery, I've been running that battery for a week running this. So yeah, for a camping situation, yeah, you just charge up a battery with your generator, and it'll last you a long time. And then this will probably be set up so that you can do AC as well. We'll get a converter of some sort to plug into the wall if you wanted to, which I probably will with this install. So if you did a RV or a cabin install and had AC, then that's probably the route you want to go. So, and of course this here has a secondary burn chamber as well. I don't know how well you can, the dog is, you don't make this easy, Sadie. It's hard to see in there with the camera. I can see it just fine, but the camera's not picking it up. Let me try to, there we go. And you can really get this roaring with the automation. If you turn the automation up, this thing will just roar. So yeah, it's you know, it's been close to freezing at night, and this thing will practically sweat me out of here. It's a pretty good size, but I can throttle it down. You can adjust the damper control and throttle both the stove down in both modes. So this is the Enduro pack stove, and then this is the pellet, the Enduro pellet stove adapter. So there'll be more to come with this setup. So like I was saying, a lot of this stuff is interchangeable, like the hearth pieces and the hopper will actually interchange with the pellet version, pellet gasifier version. So let's go take a look at that. And you have to excuse the setup, and it's going to be kind of loud. I don't have the filtration designed on this, so it's just a stove. Well, actually take that back. I have it designed, I just haven't built it yet. So that'll be coming in here in about a week or so. So there's no automation on this machine. It's just this is the Enduro pellet fuel gasifier. So you can see this one's got a different lid, but you can see its overall construction is the same. It's different internally though. It's not the same there. This is the damper control and your ash bin, grate shaker, and crude filtration. One thing this will have is that is a quick connect couple to uncouple it from the filter. Alright, we'll get away from the noise a minute. So I'll tell you a little more about the pellet fuel gasifier. Another part of this will be processing equipment to produce your own pellets. And basically what we're going to do is create a charcoal gasifier that will run the pellet mill. So the fuel that comes out of the gasifier will be able to run the charcoal unit to make more fuel. And there'll be something else we'll be putting into development is what's called a crumbler. And we get this question asked all the time, you know, can you input firewood? And the answer is no, it just doesn't work that way. But on this, that'll sort of be true, because you'll be able to input firewood into the crumbler, and that will turn it to sawdust in no time. I don't know how long it'll take, but you know, part of the criteria is that I'll have to do it fast, and it'll all have to do it off the charcoal unit. So, and another thing about the charcoal unit is you can make charcoal with this stove too, and so that'll have other applications. So you could actually, if you have the pellet stove on here, you can use the bottom stove as a retort and create charcoal for the charcoal stove, and then you wouldn't need the gasifier. You could run the generator off of the charcoal unit. So yeah, this is gonna create some options, and will eventually evolve into other stuff. So anyways, more to come. Thanks for watching.